Students, as we are reading uh, the play Watchman of the Lake, and in our previous classes, we have completed 4 scenes. First 4 scenes. What is there in first scene, second scene, third scene, and fourth scene? How it started? Scene 1. So, a village at the foot of a hill. Road menders at work. It means road menders were making the road because the next day king is going to visit that place. That is why they were preparing the road, and the discussion between village headman and Mara. And scene 2, there the king arrived, trumpets blowing, restrained cheering of crowds announce the arrival of the king. Suddenly there is confusion as the king is about to pass under a tree. Someone jumps down from its branches, a medley of voices crying, "Where did he jump from? Where is he? Hold him." So it is scene 2. And scene 2, there it's completed by construction of the tank. The tank was constructed across the river Veda. And scene 3, and this Mara became the watchman of the lake. Many years later, Mara standing before his hut on the bank of a vast lake, there is a mingled noise of wavelets breaking up on the shore, of cries of gulls, and the rustling of tree leaves. Scene 3. Here in scene 3, Mara became the watchman of the lake, and there a discussion took place between Mara, the man who was catching the fish, as well as the visitor who came from a far off village in the king's area or the kingdom, asking for water for agriculture as well as for cattle. Scene 4. And here in scene 4 is a discussion between Mara and the king. Here we see the sacrifice of Mara for the sake of his people or the king. Late at night, torrential downpour and shrieking storm, the king's palace, the bell at the palace gate ringing incessantly. This means continuously, with non-stop. It means scene 1, scene 2, scene 3, scene 4. Okay, here by the end of scene 4, here I am connecting scene 4 with scene 5. King, here we can solve this problem. Mara said, we can solve this problem because he had promised to whom? To the goddess, till he returned back. Okay, to hold on her sword, not to use, not to take that destruction. So it was a promise of that goddess, till he returned, she could wait. That is why. Mara said here, the goddess will keep her word. She has promised to wait till she sees me back there. Make it impossible for me to return there, your majesty. King, how? Mara, if your majesty's sword is there, your sword is there, here, kill me. King, no, no. What a horrible suggestion, that you are giving. But I don't want to do that one. But he said, Mara said, or send the executioner, the person who kills, an official person who kills such criminals. But here Mara is not a criminal. He is dedicating his life for the sake of a cause, for the purpose, for the holy thing. Here, my son is still sleeping in the hut. He doesn't know anything of this one. My last request is, when I am gone, make him the watchman of the lake, and after his son, and then his son, and his son's son. It means in his family only. His family must and should look after the lake, and to the last generation of our family. So till the last generation of our family, we should look after the lake. And scene 5 starts. Even in my previous class, I started scene 5 also. In front of the shrine, of a shrine means temple, on the lake, Ganga and his son. Ganga and his son is talking. There is no Mara now, because Mara sacrificed his life, dedicated his life, better consider, sacrificed his life for the cause, for the purpose. And Ganga, son, come here. Son, coming father. Ganga, where were you all this time? Here Ganga called his son, and son, here he was, here he said that I was watching the gulls, means birds, flying over the lake. Father, I was watching the gulls flying over the lake, how they skim and catch the fish, how they move or fly rapidly and touch the water and catch the fish. So beautiful to see. It is lovely to watch. What a beautiful scene to watch this one. Bird comes very fast, flying, touches the water, catches the fish, and once again flies away. So Ganga, well, didn't you know this was the hour of worship? It's a time of worship. And now we have to perform puja. Yeah, worship in the sense we have to perform puja. At the shrine, where? The temple. Son, father, I forgot. He said, I forgot. Then he further explains. Here his explanation is concerned. Ganga, don't forget again. He said, I forgot, don't forget again. That is all I can say. I will be very angry if you miss another worship. You are old enough to realize your duties. You are old enough to realize your duties. I think I was less than your age. I was less than your age when I was ordered to take my father's place. Whose place? Mara's place, father's place. When my mother was away somewhere, the last I saw my father was when I went to bed. See the situation, can recall. Scene 4. When I woke up in the morning, when I woke up in the morning, the hut had blown off and the lake was nearly rolling over the shore. And whom should I see as soon as I got up but the king? He said my father was no more. He said my father was no more and ordered me immediately to do my father's duties. Soon after that he built the shrine which looks over the lake, and on the day of dedication he was himself present. You see those two figures, son? Here, the one on the top pedestal is the guardian goddess of this lake. The guardian goddess of this lake, and the one immediately below it is my father. By the king's order, worship is performed on the evenings of every Tuesday and Friday. On evenings of every Tuesday and Friday. Scores of people come from even distant towns for it. You must not miss a single one henceforth. See, here Ganga explained to his son the history of that particular shrine, for what purpose that shrine was built and who built and what relation he has with that shrine or deity worshipping God. He explains, and he made him cautious and he gave information regarding that worshipping place. Don't forget again, should not forget such worship. That is all I can say. I will be very angry if you miss another worship. And he said that if you continue the same, I will get angry on you. You are old enough to realize your duties. Okay, you are grown up. You should understand all these things. You are old enough to understand. I think I was less than your age when I was ordered to take the responsibility of my father. At that time I was less than your age. He says, when I was ordered to take responsibilities of my father, I was less than your age. So I think I was less than your age. I took all the responsibilities of my father. I was ordered to take my father's place. Father's place means, what was his father's place? Watchman of the lake. He was watchman of the lake. Recall scene 3. That man who was fishing, he said, you are after all just a watchman, you are not the master of the lake. Then he explained regarding, of course I might be the watchman of the lake, but the king made me the master of this lake. So his explanation, when I was ordered to take my father's place means watchman. Even my mother was away somewhere. At that time his mother was not there, and Even my mother was not somewhere. Even my mother was away somewhere, because at that time, on that day when that incident took place, he was alone in the hut, because his father Mara had gone to the capital to meet the king. The last I saw my father when I went to bed. See, the last I saw my father. The visitor had come. He was asking for water because of that drought condition in his distant village. At that time they were discussing, and suddenly there started muddying, having that clouds. Because of those clouds, there started rainfall. Veda was swelling. So it means, scene 3. Incident took place in scene 3 here, and scene 4 continued. The last I saw my father was when I went to bed before sleeping. When I woke up in the morning, after getting up, woke up in the morning, the hut had blown off. There was no hut because of heavy wind and rainfall. And the lake was nearly rolling over the shore. It means water was flowing here on the banks over the shore. And whom should I see? After getting up, I saw the king. It means after getting up, I saw the king. And whom should I see? As soon as I got up, but the king. After getting up, I saw the king. He said, my father was no more. King said that Mara was no more. His father was no more. He informed me about the matter, the information about the death of his father, says Ganga says to his son, and ordered me immediately to do my father's duties. Suddenly ordered to take charge of my father and his duties. Soon after that, he built the shrine. He built this temple. After all this, which looks over the lake, he showed the particular place. And on the day of dedication means which was meant for the public dedication. On the day of dedication, he was himself present on the day of dedication. It means what you call samarpane, arpane, on that day. Okay, he himself present. King was present. You see those two figures, her son, the one on the top pedestal, the base of a statue. Here, pedestal means the base. Her statue stands or rests. Pedestal means top. Pedestal is the guardian goddess of the lake. There are two figures. One is goddess. One is of goddess. And the one immediately below that goddess is my father, means another one is of Mara. First one is of her, of goddess. Second one is of Mara. And the one immediately below it is my father. By the king's order, worship is performed on evenings of every Tuesday and Friday, according to the order issued by the king on the evenings of every Tuesday and Friday. Okay, there will be, so people will gather and worship. Scores of people, scores means many people. Here many people come from even distant towns. Distant towns means far off towns, from different far off towns for it. Since they are coming from that place, that distance, you should not miss a single one now onwards, henceforth. Okay, son, yes father, Ganga's son, grandson of Mara. Okay, said yes father, Ganga, good boy. When I am gone, see how he creates awareness, how he gives awareness to his son. When I am gone, after my death, you must watch over this lake. You must be the watchman of this lake. After you, your son. After your death, your son. Because it is the order given by the king. Now come into the shrine. Now come into the temple and see the worship. Ringing of temple bells there. So here the discussion took place. How scene 1 took place, scene 2 took place, scene 3, scene 4, scene 5. Connect all these scenes. And here understanding all the scenes according to their that existing situations. Okay. So now here we will discuss some question answers. By this topic completed, we will discuss some question answers. First, understanding this play is very important. Okay, interconnection of scenes also. Why was the headman in a hurry to complete the road work? What was the reason? What was the reason to complete scene 1? Because the king was to pass by that way the next day, because the next day the king visiting that place, he was visiting that place. That is why the headman was in hurry to complete that place, was to pass by that road. The king was to pass by that road the next day. Which day? Next day is very important. That is why that hurry is going on. The village headman asked Mara to keep away from the road workers because he didn't wish to king to know. He didn't wish to king to know that this village has fools like Mara. According to that king, that headman, Mara was a lunatic, mad fellow, wretched dog. He scolded Mara like anything. So here, that is why had such fools as Mara. So he didn't wish to show such fools. How did Mara manage to draw the attention of the king? Why? How did Mara manage? He jumped down the tree and presented himself before the king and conveyed his dream, that goddess had come into his dream, and she told regarding that river Veda to construct a tank across the river Veda, and so don't allow river Veda to flow to far off marshy land. So it is his dream he conveyed. So he took the attention of the king. The goddess' command to Mara was to build a tank here, to build a tank for Veda river, giving her a home. What is the reason? To give her a home. Next, how does the king respond to Mara's information about the tank? How does the king respond to the Mara's information about the tank? The king didn't consider Mara as mad, as the headman considered. The king accepted the suggestion which was given by Mara and performed the same. He accepted, and he called Mara to come to the palace here the next day. When he returns, what does Mara advise his son here in saving the lake and creatures? Here it is in scene 3. Scene 3, page number 69, it is mentioned. So, belongs to the goddess and her command, that is, nothing that flies or swims or walks in these parts should ever be killed. Okay, from his side. It means we should not kill any bird or any animal or anything which moves, which flies, which swims. So it was her advice given to his son regarding the creatures. Why did the visitor approach the Mara? The visitor approached the Mara because he was in need of water, because his village was far away from that king's capital or from that river Veda, and because of the drought, crops were drying up and these cattle were dying because of there is no water. Hence, that is why he asked Mara regarding the water. Mara rushed to the king because he wanted to save not only the lake, not only his own life, the king in the sense the capital, and the people also here, the king. Next, Mara was trembling at the king's palace because, next one, Mara was trembling at the king's palace because the reason is, one, he was afraid of the king, he was drenched in the rain was, that water was dripping down. He was worried about the lake, because the goddess was going to that demolish, because he was in furious mood, her in the mood of demolition. On what condition did Mara make the goddess wait for him till he returns to that lake? So the goddess, he requested the goddess to wait. She agreed. Means, to answer these questions, we have to go through all the 5 scenes. Okay, connecting one scene with another one scene, interlinks. First scene, second scene, third scene, fourth scene, fifth scene. All these scenes. It's a very beautiful play written by the great writer her R.K. Narayan. Okay, by this I'll conclude this topic. In your next class, we'll read a beautiful poem. Thank you. Have a good day.